and welcome to National Herald. It was a fight between Mamata Banerjee and Narendra Modi, nothing short of that in West Bengal. The Prime Minister and Home Minister of the country had campaigned aggressively in West Bengal. But Bengal's Didi had said, Khala hobe. And looking at the numbers now, Mamata Banerjee is ready to be the Chief Minister for the third consecutive term. Joining me is Shubhajit Bagchi, senior journalist from West Bengal. Welcome to the show, Shubhajit. Do you think I am rushing to the conclusion, or is Mamata Banerjee going to be the next chief minister again?
No, I mean, if we look at the number of seats that they have already won, and this is about, I guess, 4 p.m. And the number of seats where they are ahead, if you put them together and if you even reduce about 10% of that, then also it's going to be around 190 seats. At this point, I guess they're well above 200. It's going to be around 190. So that there is absolutely no question that the Trinamool Congress is going to form the next government in West Bengal. And the BJP leaders have also, in a way, accepted. I have just heard Kailash Vijayvargiya saying that they'll have to do an assessment of what has gone wrong and where. So they have virtually accepted that it has gone wrong. So we can definitely and conclusively say by now that yes, Trinamool Congress is going to form the government for the third time in West Bengal.
So what happened? I mean, it was practically Modi versus Narendra Modi versus Mamata Banerjee. And then they were very, very confident. BJP was very confident that they will win beyond 200. So where did they go wrong?
Well, where BJP has gone wrong, we, of course, as they have already said, that they have to do an assessment. But this is, and these assessment will have to be also done by the civil society, by the journalists, and by everybody over next weeks and months. But at a preliminary level, and don't forget, let us not forget that, we are always wise after the event, after the incident. So that space I would give to BJP, that to say that yes, we are all wise after the incident. But when you are actually in the event and in the fight, a lot of things actually go wrong, which is possibly difficult to notice. Now, and in fact, to be honest, I also have gone wrong. I also have assessed and I have written that there is a possibility of having an hung assembly in Bengal, knowing fully well that the last time the hung assembly happened in Bengal was quite 50 years back. So Bengal doesn't have a history of having an hung assembly, and it usually gives votes overwhelmingly for a party. But knowing that, I thought that there will be an hung assembly. It was so close. It was appearing to be so close.
Even a week back, even last night. And why did you think that? Because of anti-incumbency, or was it the general perception that was
anti-incumbency is, of course, anti-incumbency is, of course, a factor. Any government, when it's going to the poll for the third time, facing a 10-year-old anti-incumbency, and as we can see in the national level even, and we know what happened to Congress in 2014, how much of anti-incumbency they faced. And even you see BJP, which looks so strong from outside, even there is some amount of anti-incumbency setting in, and they are also in serious trouble over the last couple of years. So I would say, yes, anti-incumbency is the factor. But the key factor why I thought it will be an hung assembly, I thought that the Hindu vote consolidation will be exceptional in Bengal this time. Because if we look at two elections, 2019, between 2014 and 2019, the Hindu vote went up from 21% to 57% for Bharatiya Janata Party. It means an overwhelming Hindu vote consolidation for them. This is a data by CA. Now, so I expected that the BJP is going to get something between 55% to 60% of the votes. Now, well, they have not got it. They have definitely not got it, because has actually done very well in the Hindu areas where they have not performed well in 2019 elections. So they have gained those areas, and those are the areas where Muslim vote is very low, which means the Hindus have voted overwhelmingly for the BJP. However, I must also add that BJP is leading at this point in about 83 seats. Now that is very high, considering the fact that in 2016 elections, BJP got three seats in Bengal. Now they're up to 83. Now then, who voted for them? That is also the Hindu vote, I guess, predominantly in Bengal. The Hindus voted for them, but the Hindus have not only voted for them; they have also voted for Trinamool Congress, and I guess Trinamool, as usual, got substantial amount of Muslim vote. But I must say that I was very apprehensive. I thought the Hindu vote consolidation will be more sharp and putting Trinamool in deep trouble. But that didn't happen, thankfully for Trinamool Congress.
What do you think will happen in Nandigram? I mean, looking at the trend right now where Mamata Banerjee is trailing, what do you think is going to happen, and how will that impact the final results?
That will not affect the final results because there are by-elections due, and Mamata Banerjee will be a candidate in the by-elections, and she will be winning, and there's not much doubt about it now. But I have gone wrong on both the counts. I must say, admit that I thought that it will be a hung assembly. I also thought in Nandigram, Shubhendu Adhikari cannot win that seat. And now I'm not saying that he has won the seat, but of course he is giving a run for money to the chief minister. And why I thought so? Because Nandigram has substantial, about 25% Muslim votes. So I thought to get 75%, to get the 75% Hindu votes. So Shubhendu Adhikari will have to get a substantial, 70% or maybe 65% of the Hindu votes to win Nandigram. Now, because I was always looking at this Hindu-Muslim vote polarization, and in fact, Shubhendu Adhikari has done exceptional polarization in that. In fact, he was pulled up by the Election Commission of India for naming Pakistan and saying things which are completely unparliamentary in Nandigram and polarizing the votes. But this has possibly in Nandigram it has worked for him as of now. We don't know the final results. As of now, possibly it has worked for him, but for the rest of the state, it has not. You have suddenly gone silent.
Yeah. I need to unmute myself there. I want to understand what you think. Has a farmers issue impacted West Bengal at all?
Well, I do not think that the farmers issue was a major factor. Rather, what was a factor, and we have to look into the phase wise. Now we have to do a bit of analysis. The last two phases, the corona was on the rise across the country, and we are seeing the footages coming out from Delhi and entire North India, and people dying. Now that created ripples. I mean, election was not an issue in the last two phases, seventh and eighth phase. Nobody was talking about elections in Bengal. Suddenly it disappeared. Now, and before that, just 2 days or 3 days before that, everybody were talking about elections, and the prime minister was here, the home minister was here. It was all about elections, and the channels were all showing Bengal election, and suddenly it disappeared. Now, when it disappeared, we started talking. Is it good or bad for Trinamool Congress? Who is it helping, BJP or Trinamool Congress? As of now, we do not know the results of seventh and eighth phase, but I think there are about 70 seats in these two last phases, and I think Trinamool has scored very well in these phases. And also, let us not forget that Trinamool was on the complete back foot in 2019 elections, particularly in the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe areas. There are 84 scheduled caste and scheduled tribe seats in Bengal. Trinamool got about 45% of those seats, whereas BJP got most of it. Out of 84, I think BJP got about 46 of those 84 seats, most probably between 46 and 50 seats. So in the scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, and scheduled caste, scheduled vote is about 30%, or maybe more than 30% of Bengal's population. So they have substantial vote. Plus, Bengal has substantial votes of people who are coming from other states. So these two put together is about 40%. So I thought this is going to go for BJP. This is going to go to BJP. Besides, there is a Hindu-Muslim polarization. None of this has worked. As far as I can understand now, the scheduled caste areas and the scheduled tribe, particularly the scheduled tribe areas, this Jungle Mahal area, where earlier there was the Naxalite problem was very acute. In that area, BJP did very well in 2019. But this time, Trinamool did, I think, quite well in that particular area. So Trinamool has really been very focused. And well, there's been a lot of criticism about Prashant Kishore, but now possibly all credit goes to him. Besides, of course,
Yeah,
the chief, which is Mamata Banerjee.
yeah, Prashant Kishore has also tweeted about BJP's overconfidence. I know that you have to go, so I'm going to just ask you a quick question. What worked for TMC? There was anti-incumbency, there was Hindu-Muslim polarization, there was, as you're saying, the caste voting was also meant to go towards BJP. What worked for TMC? And there was cyclone and COVID and lockdown and whatnot.
So now, I think if we look at, I mean, again, to answer that question, we have to start what has not worked for the BJP. I think BJP, of course, one thing was very, very clear, and people were talking about it, particularly the women voters. I think that all the men against one woman, this psychology and this emotion has been played up by Trinamool in a very big way. There's only one woman against the whole Indian state. And there are more than 50 BJP ministers and leaders in Bengal. Prime Minister was coming every alternate day. In April, in the month of April, out of 18 days, 12 days, the Home Minister was in Bengal. So the entire machinery of the government, and you look at the kind of pressure it was created. It's an 8-phase election. You know, if you look at the deployment of central forces, which is more than 1,000 company of central forces in each and every phase of Bengal poll, which I have in the left-wing insurgent dominated areas of Bastar in South Chhattisgarh. There they have this kind of forces. So this is the force that has been there. You know, during the elections, the candidates been picked up and they've been interrogated for hours and they've been denied campaigning. I mean, these are the things which I think have really shocked the people in Bengal. Bengalis, I still felt that Bengalis are still going to vote for BJP because they want a change. But so there was always this question that are the Bengalis missing the change in terms of industry, business?
I have lost Shubhajit. Yeah. Go
So,
ahead.
sorry, problem. Yeah. So see, you know, so there was this question all the time. There was this question that will the Bengal vote for change, vote for development, the Sonar Bangla, the Golden Bengal, which have been focused and emphasized by BJP, or there is something called Bengali subnationalism. Bengali subnationalism, which started with maybe Subhash Chandra Bose and Sarat Chandra Bose and C.R. Das and runs through to Ajay Mukherjee to Mamata Banerjee. I mean, that is what Bengal subnationalism is about. So, will this Bengal subnationalism be able to stop the Hindi heartland nationalism? So, is it a fight between Bengali subnationalism and Hindi heartland nationalism? Now, I was apprehensive. I thought Bengalis have seen enough of this local politics over last 50, 60 years, and they want, you know, big industries and big capital and the global capital coming to Bengal. But well, the Bengalis thought otherwise.
Thank you very much, Shubhajit. So Shubhajit has a very interesting point to make, that it could be this time, it could be Bengali subnationalism, Mamata Banerjee, making Mamata Banerjee win over the extremely popular
No,
Prime
I mean,
Minister.
if I can add, I mean, sorry, I'm sorry. Can I just interrupt and add? Yeah, just your question, the question that you asked, that, you know, what worked for Trinamool Congress, and I think that is how we started. You know, Trinamool Congress has done a few things which I think again it worked very well. Now we of course will say that it has worked well between Trinamool Congress and Prashant Kishore. Yesterday, this time I was telling someone it has not worked, but today we have to say that it has worked, which is, you know, the schemes of Mamata Banerjee. She has umpteen number of cash transfer schemes and all kinds of schemes, you know. Now, those are delivered very well. They have done it through the government machinery, not through the party, and it has reached everyone irrespective of caste, creed, party color, etc. Now, this is remarkable. So people really liked it, but despite that, they said that we will vote for Mr. Modi. but so that is something which is still very confusing. But the fact is, we can now say that yes, the schemes have worked well. They have voted. Finally, of course, it is a victory for Mamata Banerjee. They have always said in their posters and banners and hoardings and billboards across the city that Bangla tar meke chai, something like that. So that Bengal looks for once its daughter. So finally, they voted for their daughter, and possibly there's no doubt about it now.
Thank you very much, Shubhajit. So Bengal has indeed voted for their daughter, and as Shubhajit pointed out, this could be seen as victory of Bengali subnationalism over Hindu heartland nationalism. It could be also seen as progressive politics winning over a very hardcore, masculine, and if I may add, and I see no harm in adding that, communal politics. This is Rukmini Sen for National Herald.